Again, this is Pastor John, and today is January 7th, and today we're going to be looking at Genesis 7 in our Let Us Seek the Lord channel. Again, my goal for the channel is to provide daily meditations on the glory of Jesus as we systematically work our way through Scripture, and we'll be following the reading schedule of Meditations on the Glory, which you can obtain at Amazon.com, author J. Craig Chaffin. We'll take about 3.5 years to get through that, and having said that, let's read. Genesis 7, 1 through 24. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of the animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made." And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth. So Noah, with his sons, his wife, his sons' wives, went into the ark because of everything, because of the waters of the flood. Of the clean animals that were, of the animals that were unclean, of birds and of everything that creeps on the earth, 2 by 2 went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, and on that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that very same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark. They went into Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. Now, the flood was on the earth for 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle, beasts, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all the living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. Well, the waters prevailed on the earth for 150 days. Can you imagine the sense of irreparable loss that might have flooded Noah and his family as they sat in that ark? The floodgates of the deep were broken up, meaning there was water that came up out of the earth. The water canopy from above fell. And 40 days and nights, the water poured down. Perhaps Pangea was breaking up during this time. We don't really know. We do know that there were tremendous volcanic and seismic forces that were rocking the earth, causing tidal waves that washed the face of the earth, wiping it clean of the violence of man and of all the living things outside of the ark. Noah had been told by the Lord what was going to happen outside the ark. There was an opening along the top of the ark where they could look out. Do you suppose they spent much time up there looking out? Light inside the ark would only have been provided by candles, lamps, and fires. But the chaos outside would have been far worse. In the midst of irreparable loss, the Lord invites them, come into the ark. Come into the ark, you and your household. And inside, they found safety. That must have been one wild ride inside the ark with animals inside and wild waves outside. Do you suppose the Lord protected them against seasickness? Although it's 450 feet length and 75-foot width and 45-foot height would have made it extremely stable, except in the most horrendous tidal wave. The size is just enormous. It would be a total of over 1.5 million cubic feet. It could not sit flat inside the OSU's Boone Pickens Stadium. It was safety in the midst of chaos outside. Noah and his family and the animals were secure in the midst of irreparable loss. Peter compares the ark to the salvation which we find in Jesus. 1 Peter 3:20-21 says, those who disobeyed God long ago, and God waited patiently while Noah was building the boat, only 8 people were saved from drowning in that terrible flood. And this is a picture of baptism, which now saves you by the power of Jesus Christ's resurrection. Baptism is not a removal of dirt from your body. It is an appeal to God from a clean conscience. That's the New Living Translation. Baptism is essentially identifying with Jesus. Like the ark in the midst of irreparable loss, Jesus invites us in safely to himself. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Do you need rest today? Jesus invites you into himself. He's the ark in the midst of the flood, in the midst of God's judgment. You're safe in him. Now that is glory. Indeed, we serve a glorious King. Speak his glory to someone today.